Hey, welcome to another episode of Dave's Imaginations. Today, we're going to recap our D&D session from Thursday, May 5th, where we had our first full session of The Fallen. Dark Queen Ascension presents The Fallen. Stay with me. All right. So, we start our evening with the team retreating to an abandoned farmhouse. The horses, the wagon, Mr. Fuzzy Boots, our tiger, were hidden in a barn, and Katota volunteered to stay with the wagon and the animals, mostly because Wes was absent last Thursday. And the team takes a look around the farm. There's nothing much to note, but and so in their time, Olak makes himself a bag of holding, which he intends to put Minnie, the monodrone, into that bag. Gloin takes time to scry on Lorne. Now, Gloin is our resident, the person on our team that is actually from Fortitude and is familiar with Loin. So he scries on Loin, and he finds Loin discussing the safety of some magical item that we believe is an amulet of draconic might that is hidden under the old wizard's tower. Lauren is talking to Zul, Noel's Aarakocra character, and Zurok, Ken's gnome wizard. These are alternate characters. Adric, who is Christian's alternate character, is also there somewhere. He's not quite in that room. But Adric and Lorne are a couple of Christian's other characters. Lorne sees them in a stone room. Not Lorne, Gloin. Gloin sees them all in a stone room that he believes is underground somewhere. Now, for some reason, we rolled on the fate table, and as part of that fate result, we had a random event happen, and the two clues were travel and burden. And I determined that meant the road to Fortitude was being patrolled by 3 warg riding orcs riding on wargs. All right. And Olak, Ruckus, and Varinka decide to take out that patrol while Gloin and Strider sneak into Fortitude. The orcs were defeated easily enough, and the dead bodies were brought back to the farmhouse, and Mr. Fuzzboots got to eat on an orc, while the rest of them fried up or on over a fire one of those wargs. Gloin and Strider did sneak into Fortitude, and Snyder turned them invisible, and as Gloin guided them to the basement of the track bar, but only to find it empty, occupied, lived in, but it was empty at that moment. And so they went back up, and on the way in, they did see, on that journey in, they see that a large orc army is occupying Fortitude. With orcs, they also find dragon cultists. On their way in, they do see Mr. Hooper, who has an assistant of Marikak, which is one of Glenn's other characters, working in the general store, but the store is guarded. 2 orc guards are also posted outside the track bar. So after checking out the basement, Gloin and Strider go back up, and they see Phil Harris is working in the kitchen. Phil Harris, one of Leonard's other characters, informs them that it's a good thing that they're invisible, as it would be dangerous for them to just be wandering around. Phil informs them that a year has passed and that Trackmar and Helga have had their child, a baby girl, Eralang. Well, forgive me, Glenn, if I pronounced that wrong. Baby girl Eralang, which was, we determined the sex last week, right? So it's half Goliath, half orc, or half Goliath, quarter orc, and quarter human. All right, so that was Erlang. And Phil also informs them that Fortitude fell to an overwhelming force of orcs, as well as a trio of red dragons. Trackmar's cousin has command over the occupying force and has tried to keep the casualties to a minimum. Only a handful of people, humans, original residents, remain in Fortitude, and anyone that fought the force was either killed or taken prisoner. Many that did not flee were carted off, supposedly to some prison. The few remaining in Fortitude begrudgingly continued to work as their families and friends were held ransom by the orc army. Phil looks around and quietly shares with that Phil, Adric, Drazul have found, I said Phil, but Lorne, Adric, Drazul, Zerwak have found a hidden underground temple west of town and have formed, it's actually east of town, towards the woods, east of town, and have formed a small resistance. Everything north of Waterdeep, which is significantly south of where we're at, is either held or contested by the Orc force, the Dark Queen forces. Trakmar's cousin, Throck, which is different than Thok, my mistake, but different than Thok, is Throck, Trakmar's cousin, might control the orcs, but the dark wizard Symmetrix and her companion, a tiefling sorcerer, Anguish, are the real scary ones. They seem to believe something is hidden in Fortitude. Now, on the way out of town, Gloin and Strider do swing by the wizard's tower and see that tiefling in the window. They also find what seems to be an important dragon cultist has taken over a house next to the carpenter's house. They see Narsdendra the carpenter and Greenbeard Knobbledknees, the blacksmith, are hard at work, but both of them have orc guards in front of their houses. And they notice all this before they head back to the farmhouse. The next morning, everyone but Strider goes for a quest to search for this hidden temple. Eventually, they do look for a while. It does take them a little bit to find it, but they do eventually find it. And Lorne, Adric, Drazul, and Zerwak share with them more about what's going on. Zerwak, who was educated as a dragonologist in the last year, says that in the last year, Drakhorn has sounded. There has been a calling. The summoning woke dragons, chromatic dragons, and they were drawn in to support and bolster the orcs as they invaded from the north. The Drakhorn, has sounded, and now the dragons are in league with the Dark Queen. The Academy has shared that they don't know where the Drakhorn is, but if anyone knew where it would be Makath the Crimson, a sorceress. It would be Makath the Crimson, a sorceress tiefling. She knows all about the Drakhorn. The last the Academy knew, Makath was investigating the Sea of Moving Ice when she disappeared. Only her ship was found, and some crewmen were seen lying around dead. A powerful white dragon named Orthater is known to inhabit that area. Someone needs to find Makath and, if possible, stop the Drakhorn. They would need to go to the Sea of Moving Ice to find Makath, to end the horn, and they were believing that to do that they would hire a crew for a boat from Port Last. Also, Zerwak's education, he shares that under the Wizard Tower, we know that we had found an amulet of Draconic Might, one of the amulets. Zerwak shares that it's one of 6 amulets, and it is this amulet that is certainly what Symmetrix is most looking for so diligently. It is fabled that when the 6 amulets are combined, a great draconic power will be unleashed. What exactly that power is, they don't know. Many leaders of the cult of the dragon have magical rings that are granting them some amount of control or influence over the dragons. Symmetrix is wearing one of those rings, which is likely why the resident green dragon, a young green dragon, is certainly why that dragon, Strickbite, is treating Symmetrix so favorably. Now, that green dragon has perched on top of the wizard's tower and helps keep an eye on the town and the surrounding area. We ended the evening debating if the party would go in search of Macath, or perhaps they'd go searching for the prisoners. Ultimately, searching for Macath won, but since that gaming session, I, through a text message, proposed that the Sea of Frozen Ice is just now beginning to thaw and would likely take a month before any ship could safely enter its waters. My idea is that would give everyone a month worth of downtime, which would certainly be valuable after just getting back from Barovia. We also agreed that for those that have personal maintenance that is due at a monthly time frame, that we would change that from monthly time frame to that maintenance would be due per level. So now we essentially have a month of downtime. Someone needs to find and hire a ship and a crew, or perhaps maybe you'd buy a ship, but you'd still need a crew, right? And then we through the conversation, we wondered what happened to Ragnas and Nebula. They at one time had said they were going off to join a ship crew. Would they have joined the Dave Gar's R's? I wonder. Someone might investigate. Before I get to that, in regards to the ship, we bantered around and thought maybe this academy that Zerok is associated with might have a vested interest in finding this Macath and learning more about this dragon, and maybe they'd be willing to sponsor or contribute to finding or sponsoring a ship. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to check with the fate chart to see if that turns out. We'll probably do that on Thursday. Also, someone might want to investigate the prisoners. Right? Where did they go? Where did they get taken? What is their fate? Are they alive? Are they enslaved? Are they working something? I don't know. We'd have to find out. Also, with that the Amulet Draconic Might, it's safe underneath the Wizard Tower for now, but boy, that Symmetrix, she's powerful, and it's just a matter of time, you would think, before she found it. However, a year has passed, so I don't know. Maybe it's magically. We did say that Zerok with Lidnura were bolstering the magical protections underneath that Wizard Tower. How exactly they're doing it, we didn't get into that. So finally, now that we're having a month worth of downtime and we're considering all these different actions, I know there's personal quests. I'm sure Katota would love to have some downtime to maybe think about his personal quest. I think Olak would also like his personal time to pursue his personal interests. And then, I don't know, maybe the rest of you guys might go and figure out the different stuff, the ship, the prisoners. I don't know. We'll talk about it on Friday. So I think that's the end. That is the end of my recap. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. I think this helps us keep engaged. And if you don't mind, it really does. It'll help the YouTube algorithms if you hit the like button. And so if you haven't subscribed, just please hit the subscribe button. And I just broke 100 subscribers. Believe it or not, I got 100 subscribers. I don't think they're watching our Strahd and now the Fallen campaign, but they're probably watching some of my other content. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you. And let's leave with our new intro.